We had an equipment failure in the Washington crew. We believe that one of the handles of the oar became detached. Now, when that happens, pre-racing, you have the opportunity to get it fixed. If it had happened to them in the race, they would have been in trouble because they would have lost an athlete altogether. So here we are. It's the Grand in the rain. Oxford, Brookes and Washington. Away they go, Adrian.
And they're off. Both crews attacking nice and hard. They'll be ready for this. They'll be waiting for 40 minutes for this race now.
Yeah, really tough to have that weight, on the water probably for most of that time. Not quite long enough to come off, and away they go. So they'd have sat in the rain and the sun and all the conditions we've had. This is going to be an absolute humdinger. Look at that energy from the Washington crew. So punchy at the IRAs. They're coming together, actually. I can see a bit of a clash going on. I guess the flag will be coming out of the bag in the umpire's launch as they try to separate. And it's neck for neck, stroke for stroke. Yeah, huge watts in the ground. Yeah,
the dogs from Washington really are taking this out hard to Brookes. They know the quality of the Brookes crew, and it's just going to be pure physical aggression, this, isn't it?
And even more so, I think, when you have that kind of delay to the start, you can get more tense, trying to unload even more. It's really important to stay calm and stick with the program, and hopefully the experience level in both of these crews is there to do that. But for me, that was a really aggressive start, the kind of thing we love to see in the Grand here at Henley.
It really is. When it gets to the point, these guys have trained for so much together, they know how to row and how accurate they can be, and it just comes down to instinct and just how tough and how brutal you can be. And here Washington are really staying on top of this. Brookes has possibly settled into their rhythm already, and Washington are just still driving this on.
Yeah, the Washington crew, as we said, winners in the IRAs. Their coach Michael Callahan has gone off to the guru at Washington's gone off to coach the US Olympic eights, but he's got a team that's so strong and deep that these guys will be very confident here at Henley Regatta, steered and encouraged by Nikita Jacobs in the cox's seat, formerly Radley, no stranger to this stretch here at Henley. They're approaching the barrier. You can see the yellow flag will drop as the crews cross through. We can get a read on exactly the distance between them right now. Lane 1 has the advantage. Brookes leading Washington.
In the last couple hundred meters, Brookes do seem to have slipped out to a small lead in Washington. But now as the lake, of course, going to move across. You see there the marker, a canvas or so, really almost level still at the barrier. Washington have done an exceptional job in the first 600 meters on this race. Amazing.
Absolutely, Adrian. I think this is going to be a race that could go all the way here. Washington maybe took a seat or two down on Brookes to begin with, but they've got a rhythm coming through now, that punchy, powerful rhythm we saw at the IRAs. Look at that as they come through our camera position, this screaming power of the 2.8s alongside each other.
There's 16 pipe hitters here, just smashing it down the course, trying to deliver as much power as they can. You can see the Washington crew being brave enough to get close to this, maybe too close to the booms.
Oh my God, they've hit the booms.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's a disaster for Washington, and they've lost an oar.
That's totally spoiled the race.
What on earth happened there? They just sort of lost the steering altogether.
Oh, catastrophe. Oh, that way I was setting up for such an... it's gutting.
I mean, Adrian's visibly weeping here. That's such a disaster. Let's look again.
So they're just drifting across. I don't know what's going on here. It's so close. And then he can't do anything about it. The stern steers out as he turns and then smash.
A freak gust of wind, I think, there must have taken them. You sort of saw them lift across a metre or two, and you see the
foreman from Brookes looked, as soon as he heard it, he looked across and saw what happened.
Oh, that's an absolute disaster from Washington. Sometimes you can tip the booms and recover, but we saw, the two oar there smashed into the post, and then the 6-man lost that oar. Probably, I think it was the 6-man who had a fresh handle. Maybe that's a factor in there, I don't know. So Washington have got to recover their composure and pick up, but really that lost them lengths and lengths. And you could see the Brookes crew couldn't believe their luck there. It's, it's not what you want if you're Brookes.
I mean, you'll take the win, won't you, of course, because it's all part of the race. But you were setting up such an amazing spectacle, and it's been spoiled a bit, and so unfortunate. And you're right, Brookes don't want to walk away and win it like that, but they'll take it.
Absolutely, you'll take the win, but the disappointment in the Washington crew, they have not had the chance to show us what they could do in this race here, and that's what they desperately wanted to do, earning their spot in the final and then not being able to deploy.
And they were just about to get the advantage of the course to really maybe get a bit of a lead coming down that middle third of the course. but the opportunity's gone now. I'm devastated. I've got to say, I'm totally gutted about that. That's such a shame.
It's a really tough feeling. I think we've both been there. I've had situations where, you know, a sudden crab means you're kind of 2 lengths down and that's it. And I think we've had this incredibly changeable conditions. You know, we saw when they were on the start of the ground before, we'd had biblical rain, then we had incredible sunshine and stillness, but perhaps that was a freak gust, or maybe something happened to the steering. We won't know until we get a chance to talk to the crew after the race. So Oxford Brookes, as Nikita Jacobs in the Washington crew encourages the crew on. Tom Bryce, his equivalent in the Brookes crew, looks over his shoulder. They can't believe that they'd have this margin over Washington as they approach the enclosures, the last few hundred metres, and there's a big distance opened up through that really unfortunate incident.
I mean, Brookes, they took the when the accident happened, they took their opportunity and took advantage of it, and now they can enjoy actually the last part of the race. But look, the crew, it's a great crew. I mean, they beat the Dutch Olympic crew who's in a fight for a medal by 3/4 of a length about a month ago. So it's a really fast crew. And here, Washington, with pride, still racing to the line, but the margin's just too big to take back.
Doesn't it show you, though, how in this sport, even at the very top level, the grand, you know, the premium race here at Henley for open men, disaster can still befall you. So if you're watching this and you're a young rower, never give up. Never give in, because you just don't know what's going to happen, even to the most experienced crews. And the crowd rightly applauding the Washington men, who have not had a chance to show the speed that they have brought through the season here. Oxford Brookes will take the win in the Grand Challenge Cup, partly through that incident. They won't have the sense of accomplishment that comes from winning fair and square, even though, you know, it's their advantage to take.
Yeah, but it's part of the race, isn't it? You're within a tight course, you have to take your chance, and Brookes rowing really well here to win.
So Oxford Brookes, Matthew Hayward, Tice Ricken, Samuel Nunn, George Doran, Jake Winkham, Fergus Woolnough, Toby Larson, Lewis Nares and Cox. Tom Bryce, well, winning the trophy, whichever way you do, is a win, and another win for Oxford Brookes. Disappointment and, I'm afraid, devastation. That will be a very tough one for Washington. Let's just take a look at that incident again, see if we can make more sense of this. I'm afraid it's going to be something we watch time and again to kind of make sense of what could happen. So here we are.
It's hard to see why it went wrong. They got very close to the booms, and now he can't do anything about it. He's starting to steer away. Too late, and the blades hit and that's it. Strokeman loses his blade, and then, then the race is over.
The boat pretty much stopped at that point. So if you're joining us at 4:10 in the morning in Washington, you had your double espresso. I'm afraid that's real disappointment to get up so early for that kind of result. And victory, whatever the method, means so much here at Henley Royal Regatta. So Oxford Brookes,
see, you still take the victory, don't you?
Absolutely roaring as they pass underneath our commentary box here. Credit to them. The win's a win. Their name will go on the Grand Challenge Cup, following so many names since 1839, the first Henley Regatta, the only and first race that started this incredible tradition.